السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه والتابعين وتابعيهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Today it is Monday, the first day of Dhul-Hijjah, 1447, matching the 18th of May 2026. This is session number 22, going through this book. And today's topic is, he calls it Himamun wa Qimam. Himam is the plural of himma, which means ambition, aspiration. And Qimam, the plural of qimma. Qimma is the highest point, is the top, the pinnacle, the peak, the uppermost thing. And he is here talking about ambitions and aspirations of men who are of the uppermost type or class. Himamun wa qimam. So people of high aspirations and of the uppermost type or class of people. He says, تجار التبر لا يعبؤون بالتراب. Businessmen who deal with gold. Tibr is gold. So gold merchants لا يعبؤون بالتراب. They don't pay attention to soil or sand. They're not in the business of soil, topsoil. وباعة الأحجار الكريمة لا يلتفتون للحجر المزيف. The sellers of precious stones, they do not give any attention to fake stones. وجامعو اللؤلؤ والجوهر لا يرضون بالمحقرات. عفوا، جامعو اللؤلؤ والجوهر لا يجمعون الصدف والخزف. Those who collect pearls and jewels, they do not gather shells nor pottery or clay, ceramic. لهذا, for this reason, فأصحاب الهمم العالية لا يرضون بالمحقرات. This is why the people of high ambitions, they do not accept for themselves lowly matters. And this one here, if you want to fix it, يعني the fatha should be on top. محقرات, things that are of low nature, unworthy things, small issues. وأهل البأس الكبير لا يقبلون من الغنيمة باليسير. The people of high strength, great, grand strength, يعني in fighting, they will not accept of the little. They do not accept little booty, little gain. They are hard working. They want beautiful gain. They don't accept just little gain. وقرناء المجد لا يرضون من الغياب بالإياب. Those who are of men of glory, glorious men, that are qurana, he calls them peers of glory. Right? Where the glory is, they are with that glory. Peers of glory, companions of glory. They are not satisfied when they are absent. They're not satisfied with just returning and coming back. When they come back, they have to bring something big with them. But they go and remain absent for a long time. They come back as they left. People of glory, they don't accept that for themselves. وذو النفوس الكبيرة لا يقنعون بالأحلام الصغيرة. Those who have grand souls, they are not content with small dreams. وأرباب العظائم والعزائم لا يستسلمون للهزائم. And the people of great matters and strong wills, عزائم, عزيمة, عزم and عزيمة, أولو العزم من الرسل, people of messengers of strong will. That's the عزائم here. Determinations, people of great matters and strong determination, they never surrender to defeat. لا يستسلمون للهزائم. وقد جعل الله لكل شيء قدرا. Allah has made for everything a destiny. وخلق الخلائق طرائق قددا. He created the creation in many diverse, different ways. ورفع بعض الموجودات فوق بعض. He raised some of those things that exist in the universe. He raised some of them over and above the others. وجعل بعض المقتنيات أفضل من بعض. He made some of the properties, things that the people own, he made some of them excel over the other properties. فمحال أن تكون الأشياء سواء. It is impossible that things will be equal. محال أن تكون الأشياء سواء. بل تتفاضل فيما بينها. Rather they vary in excellence. كتفاضل الغالي والرخيص والنفيس والخسيس. Exactly like that which is expensive varies a lot over compared to the cheap thing. And the precious, it definitely varies a lot from al-khasis. Nafis, precious, khasis, the lowly matter. العاقل يأخذ من كل شيء أفضله. The wise person, he will take from everything its best. ويستمع القول فيتبع أحسنه. He listens to the statement and he follows the best of it. And he's taking this from the Quran. الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. They listen to a statement, they follow the best of it. ويعدد الرأي فيختار أقومه. And he will list the different opinions. He will look at them and list them, enumerate them. فيختار أقومه. And he will choose the most straight one, the most correct one. فحبل العمر قصير لا يمتد. For the rope of the lifespan is short. It cannot be extended. You cannot extend your lifespan. وفجأة الانتقال سريعة لا تتوانى. And the sudden transition is very quick. It does not slack. The sudden transition, he's talking about death. That sudden movement and transition from this world to the next is a quick one. It does not slack. It doesn't come slowly. When it comes, it strikes right away, all of a sudden. وفجيعة الرحيل عجلة لا تتأخر. And the catastrophe of departure from this world, that is, عجلة is hurried. It's on a rush. It doesn't come late. لا تتأخر. Death doesn't come late. It comes right on time. والمشغلات أكثر من أن تحصر. Things that will busy you are there far much more than you will be able to count them and list them and enumerate them. وما يفت في العضد ويقعد بالمجتهد أكثر مما ينشط الخامد الكسلان ويوقظ الخادر النعسان. He said وما يفت في العضد. This word has come before. And al-adud is the upper arm. And in the Quran, Allah said to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, سَنَشُدُّ عَضُدَكَ بِأَخِيكَ. That's the word you see here, عضد. Upper arm. It means we will strengthen you, we'll support you with your brother, and your brother Harun alayhi salatu wasalam. Here he says, your foot. Your foot, when you break things into pieces. You know, if you have a cookie and you smash it, how it goes into crumbs? Fatta yafuttu. Maybe some of you heard the line of poetry by Abu Ishaq al-Albiri, which says, تفت فؤادك الأيام فتة. You heard it before, huh? That's the word here. Fatta yafuttu. When you take like a, let's say a biscuit, and you put it into pieces, crumbles. Fat. يفت في العضد here. He says what breaks your عضد, meaning the stronger side. So translate it here as what breaks your momentum. That's what it means here in this context. And you have strength and something comes and weakens your strength. You have a high, determination and will and, willpower, and then somebody comes and some things happens and they, wipe out that zeal and enthusiasm. So he says, those things that will break your momentum, وَيَقْعُدُ بِالْمُجْتَهِدِ, and will make the one who is serious and conscientious, the one who is striving, mujtahid, it holds him back. The things that will hold him back, stop him from his seriousness. He said there are so many, those things that will break your momentum and hold you back from your striving. There are so many, akthar, and they are actually more, far much more, akthar, than that which will motivate the idle person, the lazy person, and wake up the person who is dizzy and sleepy. Which is true. Things that will motivate you are far much less than the things that will demotivate you. ومن يعجزون أكثر ممن يحفزون. Same point. من يعجزون, those who make you become restless, become unable. يعجز. عجز, inability. يعجز is to make someone unable. Those who make people unable, things that or people that make you unable, are far much more. They are akthar. They are more than those who incite, motivate, inspire, and also bring you down, are more than the ones who push you up. وَلِلنَّفْسِ إِقْبَالٌ وَإِدْبَارٌ. Also your own self has times when it has iqbal, embarking upon things. There are times you find yourself wanting to do things. And idbar, there are times when you feel you want to hold back. Times when you are moving forward, and times when you are moving backward, holding back. وَانْبِسَاطٌ وَانْقِبَاطٌ. The self also has moments or times when you have inbisat, expansion. You are, have hopes, and there are times when there is inqibad, constriction, and you're shrinking, basically. There are times when you feel yourself you want to do, and then are times when you are holding back. وَفَتْرَةٌ وَشِرَّةٌ. Again, the same meaning. The soul has fatra, when you are tepid, when you are not enthusiastic. وَشِرَّة, that shirra is times when you are having zeal and enthusiasm. Yes, human beings. That's how we are. How we are. وحور وكور. Here, Sheikh Muhammad, it shows up again for you. الحور بعد الكور. Huh? So he's describing the self now. الكور, the original meaning. Now I'm talking about the original meaning and how it's taken in this context after. Kaur is when you, like kura is like a ball. And in the Quran, يكور الليل على النهار ويكور النهار على الليل. He has the night go on the day like a takwir, like a ball, which the scholars use this a long time ago. They use it to say that the earth is round. يكور الليل على النهار ويكور النهار على الليل. He enters and he makes the day over the night like a ball, and then the night over the day like that. Right? So التكوير here كور العمامة. You know how the imama, the turban that is worn, you take the cloth and you put it round and round, and that's called takwir. You're putting the imama into rounds, and then when you undo it now, that's called hawr. You undo it. So he's using for the self. Yani there are times when you want to perform and outperform, like you're doing your imama, you're fixing it, and there are times when you are undoing and unreleasing. You're not, or you're releasing. You're not that enthusiastic. He said, وقيمة الإحسان وقيمة الإنسان ما يحسنه. The value of the person, the human, is what he is able to do. Is a famous statement from the people of the past. What are you able to do? That's your value. That's your value. That's your worth. That's your worth. You are an architectural engineer. You can do this building, and that's your value. You are a civil. That's your value. You are a medical doctor. You are a hafid of the Quran. You are an iron smith. You are whatever in life. You can speak this language, that language. That's your worth. And you get the worth and the value from the things you are able to do. It's a famous statement of the past. And Al-Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, he quotes his Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, that he used to say that the general people, the masses, they say the value of the person is what he is able to do. ما يحسنه. Same as we mentioned. He said, وَالْخَاصَّةُ تقول, but the special of the people, تقول قيمة كل امرئ ما يطلب. They say the value and the worth of the people is what he is after, what he is seeking. Yani more. This one has more into it. Yani your value and worth is what you can do. This is something already done. Yani you achieved whatever. You speak different languages. You know how to do this. You are a builder. You are a this. But Ibn Taymiyyah here, he says that your value, your worth is actually what you are seeking. Yani your ambitions, what you aim for, that decides your worth. Forget what you achieved already, but then what's next? What are you planning to achieve? That's your value and your worth. Back to our he said ومقدار ربحه بمقدار حسن استثماره وجودة اختياره. the amount of his profit, the profit that he will make, the individual, the amount of profit he will make is according to the amount of the good investment and the good choices that he makes. Once again, the topic here is himamun wa qimam, is about people who have ambitions and aspirations, who want only to be at the top. Right? That's the topic. Right? So now he gave us this, that you have, remember the different types of people. If you are dealing the business of gold, you're not gonna look after topsoil and how much is the topsoil and deliver this, and you are busy with your gold, right? And the other examples that he mentions, and the people of high things, they don't look after the unworthy matters, and that Allah made destiny for everything, and things have different values. They're not the same. You cannot have things in this worldly life that exist. They cannot be having the same value and worth. They cannot be. The next point is that the wise person, he will take the best of everything that is around him, especially knowing that his time is short and death comes all of a sudden, especially that things that will delay you and hold you back are far much more than the things that will push you and gear you towards excellence, right? And you have a self also, your own self and soul. Sometimes you are enthusiastic, sometimes you are not. So that is the case. Then he puts this line of poetry that is attributed to either Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu anhu or Al-Imam al-Shafi'i alayhi rahmatullah. Very famous lines of poetry, and they are basically telling you, have high ambition and strive for excellence and seize the opportunity. Don't sit back, don't hold back. So these lines are saying, إذا هبت رياحك فاغتنمها فعقبى كل خافقة سكون. I know it's best here you have كل and كلي, anyhow. When your winds blow up, seize the opportunity. If you are in a ship, the ship depends on the winds to sail, right? So seize the opportunity. If you are a farmer, right? And if you are so here by the winds he means the winds of opportunity show up to you, they blow onto you, they come towards you. فاغتنمها, seize the opportunity. فعقبى كل خافقة سكون. After every خافقة when something is moving. For instance, they use that for al-qalb, the heart beats, خفقان, يخفق. So after every movement, there is what? A moment of idleness. Right? So they talk about عاصفة. It's so windy, so much of a tempestuous wind, and then after that, what happens? Completely quiet. The quiet that happens after the windy or the tempestuous wind. So now the winds are moving. Seize the opportunity before the time after that. It will be what? It will be idle, no movement. سكون, idleness. ولا تغفل عن الإحسان فيها فما تدري السكون متى يكون. When those opportunities show up to you, seize the opportunity. Like so much wind is blowing to you with goodness, seize that opportunity, he said, and do not be heedless Do not be unaware of doing good in those times when you have opportunity, right? Seize the opportunity and do the best with that opportunity you got. Do good deeds. Because فما تدري السكون متى يكون. Because you do not know when the idleness will come back, will be. Yani now you have opportunity, you got some money, business, profit came to you. Seize that opportunity and donate and do good with that, because after that you don't know when it's going to the market will go down again. You may not make profit, and so on and so forth. In terms of your strength, young age, you are young, seize the opportunity of that and do good while you are young, because you don't know when, right? You are young, maybe you get sick, maybe you get too busy with other things that you cannot, seize the opportunities that are open for you. Then it says, وَإِن دَرَّتْ نِيَاقُكَ فَاحْتَلِبْهَا فَمَا تَدْرِي الْفَصِيلُ لِمَنْ يَكُونُ. He said, and if your niyaq, naqa is a she camel. Niyaq or nuq is the plural, she camels. If your she camels produce milk, darrat yadurru. If your she camels produced milk, فاحتلبها, then milk them. Again, the opportunity is there, right? So if your she camels produce milk, then milk your she camels. فما تدري الفصيل لمن يكون. For you don't know the baby camel then who it will belong to afterwards. Right now you have the milk is there in the other milk, and seize the opportunity, because you don't know that the baby camel then who will it belong to afterwards, right? Who will purchase it, who will take it. You might not have your she camel anymore, let alone her baby. When do the camels produce milk, the she camels? When they give birth. Otherwise, if they don't, they don't have, right? Just like humans. طيب. So basically those very famous lines of poetry, but they emphasize on seize the opportunity, don't hold back. They say that one time one of the, Allah knows about the details of but one of the British broadcaster working for a TV station, he had an interview with one famous millionaire or a billionaire or milliardaire from the Arab world. So he asked him a question: how did you become rich? How did you collect your money? So that rich guy, he took out his checkbook and he said to the guy, the TV, he told him, tell me a number that you want and I will write it for you here in the check. The guy got shy. He said, I did not ask you this question so that I'll get money from you. And, he held back. So that rich millionaire, he closed his book, put it in his pocket. And he said, whatever number you would have said, I would have written that in the check for you. The way I became rich is I never, hold back on any opportunity. I seized the opportunity right away. That's how I got rich. And you could have been rich now, but just if you said write this much money. He said, I was willing to write it for you. But you didn't ask, so therefore a checkbook back in the pocket. That's the people of the dunya. We are not talking about the akhirah now. But it's just those examples are there. Even the line of poetry, you see the examples from the dunya, because they strike us deeply, deep inside. You know, you lose something of the dunya, we remain to be a human being. In the end, he said, ومن أدرك أنه لم يبق في عمره كما ذهب يجب عليه أن يكون كحامل المتاع في وقت الفزع. The one who comprehends that there isn't left of his lifespan, there isn't left of it like what has already gone. If you are 50, you're not expecting to live another 50, right? So you understand your lifespan, there isn't left in it like what has already passed and elapsed. It's actually less, right? Shorter. Because he's talking about people who are in the last third, right? You remember that. طيب. He must, if that is the case, he knows that what's left for him cannot be the same like what he lived already, the many years he lived. It is a must upon him then that he will be like the carrier of the stuff, the items, in the time of fear, in the time of fear. Yani you are in your house and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, save us all, or you are in your hotel room or whatever, and then and then a fire happens. You're trying to leave, what are you going to take? Right? If you are in the hotel, you're going to think about what? Your passport, your important papers, your money. You're not going to carry the big bag with the clothes and with the items, with the gifts, and you're going to take what's, important, right? That's what he says. So if you know that what is gone of your life is not, what is left is not going to be as big as what has passed, then you will act like the one who is carrying the stuff in the time of fear. لا يأخذ معه إلا ما خف وزنه وقل حجمه وغلى ثمنه وارتفعت قيمته. He will not take with him except what the weight of it is light, and the size of it is small, and the price of it is expensive, and the value of it is high. That's what you will take if you are trying to run away from a scary incident or event. والبواقي من العمر تحتاج لفطنة التاجر في زمن المواسم. What remains of the lifespan need the cleverness, the alertness, fitna, the alertness of the businessman in the time or of the seasons, season times. We are in the Hajj season now. You know what the merchants do in the time of Hajj, right? If you reach early in Dhul-Qa'dah, right? Early, maybe mid Dhul-Qa'dah, you find the shops are there, they stay till 12. But then when more and more coming the time of Hajj, what happens? They don't even close. They are working 24 hours. Why? Because there's always business. There is always, even the hair cutters and they're always open. Why? Because they always have business. Ramadan time comes, we have those brothers who always come with what? Reminds you of what? What do people buy in Ramadan? Dates, huh? We have dates here too, these days. So like that, merchants or businessmen, we are the season of Udhiyah. You know how much the Udhiyah is these days, right? Maybe many of you decided to offer a Udhiyah overseas because of that. Right? Went up to 600 and 625 and 650. A share of a cow is like 750, right? These are the times of high seasons merchants. So you need to be like a businessman in the high season. وعزيمة المتسابق تحتاج لفطنة التاجر في زمن المواسم، وعزيمة المسابق عندما يصك سمعه لهث الملاحق. So the one who understands that what's left of his life is little, is not as much as it has passed, also he will need to have the determination, عزيمة, the ambition, the willpower of the one who is musabiq, the one who is racing, when his hearing is hit and struck by the panting, yani the sound of the breathing of the one who is coming after him. You know, you are running and maybe you are ahead and the one behind you is about to catch up with you. So he's like, when you hear this panting, the sound of his breathing high, then what you're going to do? You're going to try to push ahead so that he will not catch up with you. This is what you need to do if you really understand what is left of your life is less than what you already lived, right? And you will have the mindset of a businessman during the high seasons. You like a racer when he feels that the one behind him is about to catch up with him. والمؤمن حقا والمسلم صدقا يجعل بين عينيه يوم التغابن. The one who is truly a believer, the one who is a real Muslim, he will put in front of his two eyes the day of taghabun, the day of loss and profit, taghabun, and being a loser in this loss and profit. What happens? Why is it called the Yawm al-Taghabun? Who knows? Who can tell us why is it called Yawm al-Taghabun? They use loss and profit or mutual loss and profit. Yes, that's one, but then there is more detail. Every person has a spot. Where? He has a spot in paradise and he has a spot in the fire. Everyone. He has a spot in paradise and a spot in the fire. What will happen on the day of judgment? نعم؟ بالعربي. ايش اللي بالعربي؟ كل واحد له مقعد، كل مؤمن، كل إنسان له مقعد في الجنة ومقعد في النار. صح؟ Spot in the fire, spot in the paradise. What will happen on the day of judgment? The believers will go to their spots in paradise. صح؟ المؤمنون يأخذون مقاعدهم في الجنة. Well, what happens to the spots of the fire? Of the believers? Who will inherit them? The people of the fire. That's why هم مغبونون. Right? مغبونون. Losers. They're losers. Right? يعني you bought something, if you are a businessman, you bought this bottle for $10. Then you try to sell it, but nobody is buying it. You go, give me even 10 cents for it. Right? And really you feel you are, you lost big time, right? So losing in the dunya is nothing compared to those losses that will happen in the fire. And there are some ahadith which there is a discussion about authenticity, that for the believer, it will be said, هذا فداؤك من النار. This is your ransom from the fire. Yani some of the disbelievers will be thrown in the fire in his place. Right? And he will be ransomed. He will be freed from entering the fire. And then those disbelievers, they are the ones who will get that. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. So the believer, that day of loss, big time losing, will be in front of his eyes. Supposed to be the true believer, the real Muslim. وعلى باله يوم الحسرة. On his mind, on his mind is always the day of regret, the day of feeling sorry for yourself. That's the day of judgment. It's called يوم الحسرة, يوم التغابن, يوم الحسرة. The day of judgment has so many names, ويوقن بأن بأن الجنة درجات بعضها فوق بعض. The believer certainly believes that paradise are levels and degrees. Some of them are above the others. وأن الرقي في درجاتها والتفاضل بين طبقاتها. And that rising up, climbing up those levels and degrees, and the variance, tafadul, the excellent different positions of the people in terms of its layers, tabaqat. People will excel each other in the layers, stages of the paradise. Somebody will be on this level, the other one on this level, the other one on the other level, as in the ahadith, yani 100 levels. And you look, it's as if you look at a shining star in the sky. This is between one level and the other. This varying degrees in the different levels of paradise, it depends, this difference depends, بعد رحمة الله تعالى, after the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it depends upon the righteous deeds. All of us will enter paradise by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not by our deeds. Our deeds are not a price for paradise. Yani if you lived 60 or even 80 or even 100 years and you were worshipping Allah from the first breath till the last breath, all these 100 years you were in prostration to Allah, worshipping Allah, is not going to be equal to perpetual living, everlasting enjoyment in paradise. It cannot be. Right? So Jannah is not a price for our deeds are not the price for paradise. But we enter with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in it. But then those varying degrees in paradise and levels, they depend upon, after the mercy of Allah, the righteous deeds. فَمَنْ زَادَتْ حَسَنَاتُهُ ارْتَفَعَتْ دَرَجَاتُهُ. The one whose good deeds are increased, then his levels, his degrees are increased. وَمَنْ كَثُرَ ثَوَابُهُ سَمَتْ مَنْزِلَتُهُ وَعَلَتْ مَكَانَتُهُ. The one whose thawab, reward, is abundant, then his position will rise up, samat, and his position and status will be high. علت مكانته. ومن سبقت له من الله الحسنى في الدنيا بالعمل الصالح سبقت له منه الحسنى في يوم القيامة بالنجاة من سخطه وعقابه. And the one whom there has preceded for him al-husna, the goodness in this dunya, by doing good deeds, then there will precede for him the husna in the next life. Al-husna in the next life is paradise on the day of judgment, by being saved from Allah's wrath and punishment. من سخطه وعقابه وشديد حسابه وأليم عذابه. And his severe accountability and his painful torment. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destined for you to do good deeds in this life, al-husna of this life, which is the good deeds, you will get al-husna in the next life. فأما من أعطى واتقى وصدق بالحسنى فسنيسره لليسرى. للذين أحسنوا الحسنى وزيادة. So those who have done good deeds in this life, أحسنوا, they will have al-husna. Al-husna, which is paradise, the best. وزيادة, and more, which is looking to Allah's face, subhanahu wa ta'ala. إن الصالحين من عباد الله المؤمنين. Truly the righteous of the servants of Allah, the believers, لا يفوتون اللحظة. They do not miss out on the moment. ولا يفرطون في الدقيقة. And they do not act negligent about the minute. The second and the minute, they care about that. حتى يوقعوا فيها ما يرضاه الله تعالى من القول والعمل. Up until they have in it happening in that moment or that second or minute, they will have in it something that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of the statement and the action. Even one moment, you are sitting in a session like this and you say astaghfirullah within yourself. You say alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah tamla'u al-mizan, fills up the scale, right? حتى لو أرادوا المزيد من العمل لما وجدوا مزيدا من الوقت. Those righteous people, to a point that if they want to do more of the good deeds, they will not find more time to do so. Why? Because their time is already full with that. ومنهم حماد بن سلمة. And amongst them is Hammad ibn Salama. The time of Salah is coming. So I will stop here because now he's gonna give us a number of examples. So so it's good to stop here to do it together tomorrow. He will give us a number of examples from the scholars of the past who were himamun wa qimam, who had aspirations and ambitions, and they were top. They were top in terms of doing good deeds. So he will give examples of those people. So inshallah we stop here and we continue tomorrow بإذن الله. Yes. سمت. سما يسمو. سما يسمو. I'm sure you know someone whose name is Sami. Sami, and the female is Samiyah, right? That's the meaning. Sama yasmu, to rise up, to be elevated, to go up. So samat manzilatuh, his status and position will be up high, right? Will rise up, will ascend. طيب سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك جزاكم الله خيرا. So inshallah after Isha, after Maghrib, we'll continue after Maghrib, and it's up to you if you want to do something before Maghrib. I'm still leaving that option there, inshallah, 8 o'clock maybe. If you are willing to come for that, inshallah, there will be interesting topics, inshallah. تفضل إن شاء الله.